The migrant crisis continues to inundate cities like New York, Denver, and Chicago. Some mayors recently tried to set rules on when and where buses could drop off migrants, a problem that suburbs of these cities are now facing. Chicago Alderman Raymond Lopez joins me now to talk more about the crisis in his city. Alderman, welcome.
Thank you, Mike.
So in your view, how are President Biden and Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson doing in handling this migrant crisis?
Well, I think that open border Democrats like my mayor and like our president are completely failing in this moment. Regardless of what the Secretary Mayorkas seems to not want to say, this is a crisis. We are seeing a border crisis that is now extending to the backyards of the city of Chicago and our neighboring suburbs. And we are literally inundated with now 29,000 individuals who up until recently were shipped here by bus. Now they're being flown here by private plane into other suburbs who are now importing them into our city. And it's simply not sustainable or acceptable that my fellow Democrats refuse to call out the president for not securing the border and putting an end to the charade, all in the name of increasing immigration in our country. It's incorrigible that we've forgotten about the DACA kids who we promised to give a path to, while opening the back door for all of these not only South American migrant asylum seekers, but asylum seekers from all across the world who know that the border is open and using it to their fullest.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott made an interesting point on the migrant crisis today. Let's play it.
We need to stop the magnet that is enticing people to cross our border illegally, coming from more than 150 countries across the entire globe. And the way that you do that is to deny asylum to anybody crossing between a port of entry.
You may not agree with Governor Abbott on a number of issues, but does he have a point on this one?
Well, I think he's absolutely correct in that you have to stop the magnet. And that was something that was even introduced during President Bill Clinton's immigration reform in the 90s, was that you have to stop and interrupt what is bringing everyone here. And I think that not only stopping the initial point of entry, if you're going from one country to another, which is a Trump-era policy that they want to bring back, but I think also the fact that you have to stop rewarding this behavior with immediate pardoning and temporary asylum status for individuals who come here and then giving them a court case 10 years down the road with full federal benefits in the meantime. They are using those benefits to help fuel that cycle by sending that money back home so that the next individual can do the next journey to our borders. You have to interrupt that cycle if you want to break this flow that seems to be unceasing.
The Denver mayor today suggested it was a processing issue. Let's play that.
We have 30 or 40,000 people arriving without work authorization, without federal support. It is going to be a huge strain on cities, but that doesn't mean we can't solve it. We could solve it if we actually had work authorization for folks that came, if we had resources at the border so that you could adjudicate these asylum claims faster.
Is it just about processing the migrants, or should we be focused on enforcing the law?
Well, I think the Denver mayor is partially correct. This is about adjudicating these claims and determining whether or not the merits for these asylum cases is positive or negative. Unfortunately, for 90% of the individuals coming here, wanting work is not grounds for asylum, which means that they should be immediately denied and sent home. But that's not what these individuals like him, like the mayor of the city of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, are asking for. They are asking for work permits so that these individuals can stay, so that they continue to apply for jobs in the various cities that they're in, and so that those cities themselves can ask for billions of dollars from the federal government to sustain these efforts. This is all coming on the heels of the end of the COVID ARPA 1 and 2 funds, and in my opinion, this is just another cash grab by big cities looking for a backdoor bailout and using the current migrant crisis to achieve those goals.
Chicago Alderman Raymond Lopez, grateful for your time and your perspective today, sir. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.